Welcome back to Twilight of the Gods. Today we are going to be demoing a typical turn order in a Twilight of the Gods game. With me I have Chris, one of my associates.
Hi guys.
And we are going to show you the later stages of a Mars player, played by me, versus a Hera player, played by Chris. You'll notice we're sitting next to each other. That's because the camera is over there, so we have to sit right here. But my field of play will be this one right here, so I'll be kind of reaching across to move cards around. So first, let's go into the very first part of the turn, which is the refresh phase. Now, since this is a game already in progress, you'll notice there's a lot of stuff out on the field. So we're going to take this step by step. So the first thing during the refresh phase is we refresh our aspects. So boom, boom, boom. Exhausted aspects become fresh. Now, the next thing we must do before doing anything else is pay for any intrigues that are in play. This intrigue costs 1 tier 1 and 1 tier 2 aspect. I must try to pay that using my available resources before I can do anything else this phase. All right. Intrigue upkeep cost has been paid. We can move on. Now, creatures refresh. The Anarchist mob refreshes. You'll notice the Wandering Hermit, however, has 2 freeze counters on it. That means it will not refresh this turn. We'll move to the end of the refresh phase. Both freeze counters go away because whenever you remove freeze counters, you remove all freeze counters. So, no more freeze counters on the Anarchist mob, or on the Wandering Hermit. All right, now we move to the draw phase. So, start of the draw phase, I as the Mars player will draw 2 cards. 1, 2, and my life stack is dangerously low. I better win the game this turn.
You better hope.
Yeah. Now, also during the draw phase, I have a leper quarter, which allows me to put a 0-1 or a 1-1 red leper in play that cannot damage life stack. So this leper will come into play. It will not get to attack this turn, though, because it just came into play. All right, so that is the draw phase done. I have no other effects during the draw phase, so now we will move to the trade phase. I would like to trade with my opponent, because I have a clever plan that I want to do. However, he might not want to trade with me.
I don't think so. Considering he just says he's got a clever plan, I'm going to choose not to trade.
And my life stack is pretty low. So, I will offer to trade a tier 1 for a tier 1.
No.
Oh, will you trade a tier 1 for a tier 3?
No.
Will you trade a tier 1 for 2 tier 3s and a tier 2?
No trades.
So since he said no trades, that shuts down the trade phase. We move immediately to the seize phase. No more offers can be made. So during the seize phase, I really need that tier 1. So I'm going to ditch out 3 cards from my hand. 1, 2, 3. One of which will be destroyed, gone from the game permanently. These go into my discard stack, and I get to take a tier 1 from my opponent. I'll take that one right into my aspect stack, and I will need that later. So you can seize multiple times if you wish. However, since I only need the 1 tier 1, I'm only going to seize once. Now we move to the resource phase. That is where this tier 1 aspect will come into play, allowing me the opportunity to use it to fulfill my fiendish plan. Okay, after the resource phase is the summoning phase. Now I get to decide if I want to bring any creatures into play. I decide that I don't want to bring any creatures into play. I think I'm good with what I have, and I want to do some stuff later on. Now, a clever player will note that I only have 2 life right now. Oh no! Shade of Thanatos, if it exhausts, can deal 2 damage because it is currently unwounded. So my opponent would probably want to use his Shade of Thanatos right now to try to deal 2 damage to me and just kill me outright. I would lose the game. Would you like to use your Shade of Thanatos to kill me?
Yeah, I'm going to win right now, so let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So the Shade of Thanatos is about to deal 2 damage to my life stack, which would kill me. However, I get a chance to respond. So I will respond by exhausting these 2 tier 1s and this tier 2 in order to play Ambush. Ambush allows me to manifest a tier 2 and inflict 1 damage on all players. Oh no, 1 damage on all players, that means me too. That's no good. So first we're going to manifest our tier 2. And we're going to manifest this middle one. Let's see what this is. Oh, darn, it's a Golem Brigade. Exhaust this card as its heresy effect. That's a bummer. I picked the wrong card. So this remains in play like that. Could be used for a resource if it was fresh, but it is not, so it cannot. Now we resolve the second part of the card. 1 damage to all players. So I take a point of damage, leaving me with 1 left. And then Chris takes a point of damage, leaving him with quite a few left. Ambush has finished resolving. It goes to my discard stack. We are still waiting to resolve the 2 damage from Shade of Thanatos. Now I will play my second card, which is Flaming Arrows, exhausting 2 tier 1s to play that. It has a Savagery trigger, which allows me to manifest 1 tier 2. I'll pick the bottom one. Let's see what that one does.
All right, let's see what you get.
Oh, I get a Shade of Thanatos. Controlling player suffers 4 damage. Since it's in front of Chris, he is the controlling player. He suffers 4 damage.
Dang.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
3, 4. Oh, no, he's taking some damage. That's no bueno. Then I got the Savagery trigger because I dealt 1 damage to myself earlier that turn. The second part is inflict 2 damage, split as I choose, to another player's creatures. So I'm going to deal 2 damage to that Shade of Thanatos.
You did 4 damage and you killed my creature.
I know.
What's going on?
It's really sad, isn't it? And then I get to inflict 1 damage to 1 player. Now, I probably don't want to pick myself because that will kill me, so I will deal 1 damage to you.
Dang it. Boom.
All right. That finishes resolving, hits my discard stack. Now, the Shade of Thanatos, which originally started all this, is no longer on the field, so its ability cannot resolve. I do not take the 2 damage, so I'm still alive. And I have gotten rid of a threat. That was also why I was leaving my resources open, so I could use them. Now we move, so I have nothing left to do in the summoning phase. Now we're going to move to the combat phase. I will choose to attack with my, let's see, I feel like he's only got 3 cards left, so I think I'm just going to attack with both my creatures. I'm going to attack with my Anarchist Mob and my Wild Hunt, attacking his life stack.
All right. Well, now I get a chance to respond. And I definitely don't want him doing any damage to my life stack, or else I'm out of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and declare my blockers. I'm going to go ahead and block Wild Hunt with Beowulf's Prodigy.
Probably don't want to block Wild Hunt with Beowulf's Progeny, because remember,
not?
Wild Hunt has an ability, Deathbound. Inflict 7 damage to any target you choose.
Oh, geez.
So,
you know what? I think I'll pass on that one then.
So if you kill the Wild Hunt, then it's 7 damage coming your way.
No, I don't want that happening. So I'll block instead Anarchist Mob with Beowulf's Prodigy.
Yep.
And then I'll just use my...
Stoic Legionnaires aren't a bad choice.
Yeah, you're still alive.
Yeah, because it keeps it alive, so I can't use the ability. And yeah, that'd be a pretty solid play.
Not only that, but you're not going to win the game. That's good on me.
Yep, good on you. Good play. All right, so we have our block. So I've declared my attackers. I declared their target. He declared his blockers on a 1-to-1 basis. Now we move into resolving damage. So the first part of resolving damage is damage between creatures. So the Beowulf's Progeny deals 4 damage to the Anarchist Mob, which will kill it. The Anarchist Mob deals 1 damage in return, which is negated by the armor 1. Thus, the Beowulf's Progeny lives, even though it only had 1 hit point left. If I managed to deal 1 more damage to it, it would die, but next turn it will have its armor. So my Anarchist Mob dies, goes to my discard stack. My Wild Hunt is resolving against the Stoic Legionnaires. Now they have initiative, so that means they get to strike first in combat. They deal 2 damage to my Wild Hunt, which is going to take it down to 1 life left. Oh no, Wild Hunt. You're so close to getting there. 2 damage. Boom. That's so sad. And in return, they're going to deal 6 damage to the Stoic Legionnaires, which just flat out crushes them.
But it blocked it, though. So this means when you draw that, it's over.
Yep, it is over. There's not a lot I can do. Actually, you know what? My Wild Hunt did not take that damage because it has armor 2. My Wild Hunt's a beast.
Man.
I don't even care. It doesn't care about damage. It's a Wild Hunt. Okay, so after we resolve damage between creatures, now we want to resolve damage to discard stacks. Now, I did not declare any attackers to the discard stack, and I did not do any damage to the discard stack, so nothing happens. Now we resolve damage to the life stack. He only has 3 cards left. Oh, if only there was some way I could kill him. But none of my creatures got through to actually hit the life stack. Both of them were blocked. So now we're moving to the end phase. During the end phase, these cards flip back face down. Then they get randomized, so they will be shuffled together. And then put back in the position they were, which was 2 exhausted and 1 fresh. There we go. So, I still have 1 last chance to do something. If only there was some way I could kill my Wild Hunt. I think there is. Remember, you can always sacrifice at any time. Now, if I sacrifice to kill my own wild hunt, it won't do anything because that is a deathbound trigger. If I sacrifice to kill it, it just gets removed from the game. However, if I sacrifice 2 tier 1s and 3 tier 3s to blow up the Disciple of Loki,
Oh, dang it.
that leaves my tier 3 creature limit at 0, which means Loki's out of the game, these are out of the game, and the Wild Hunt now dies, which means I get its Deathbound effect, I get to deal 7 damage to any target I choose you. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, and that is the game. So, that is a sample turn order in Twilight of the Gods, going through each part of each phase, and hopefully you learned something from it. Thank you for watching.